Another missile attack on an airbase in Iraq carried out by an Iranian-backed group. And what we're learning now about potential injuries to U.S. personnel. ABC's Jay O'Brien joining us now from the White House with the very latest. Jay, good morning.
With overnight U.S. Central Command saying that multiple U.S. troops are now being evaluated for traumatic brain injuries, and one Iraqi service member was wounded after that Iran-backed militia fired multiple ballistic missiles and rockets at a U.S. base in western Iraq. It happened last night, Baghdad time, at Al-Assad Air Base. Some of the missiles making a direct impact, but the Pentagon says that most of them were intercepted by air defense systems. Since the start of the Israel-Hamas war, there have been at least 140 attacks on U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria. Some troops, there are roughly about 3,500 there to prevent a resurgence of ISIS. And tensions high across the Middle East. Just yesterday, the U.S. Navy in the Red Sea shooting down, or at least conducting an airstrike rather, on Houthi militants, another Iran-backed group, before they could fire off anti-ship missiles. That group conducting at least 30 attacks on commercial ships in that region, a vital shipping lane, since mid-November. The White House making it clear they believe Iran is at the center of all of this violence. President Biden saying just last week he had a private conversation with Iranian leaders and saying that the U.S. is well prepared if these attacks don't stop.
All right, Jay O'Brien for us. Thank you. So let's discuss more and bring in U.S. National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications, John Kirby. John, good morning to you. It's great to have you. So let's start there. And what can you tell us about potential injuries to American troops in Iraq, and how will the U.S. respond to this latest attack?
Well, as we understand at this early hour on Sunday morning, it's only a very small number of U.S. troops that were affected. They're being seen for traumatic brain injuries with some symptoms of concussions, but no serious physical injuries other than that. Not that that's not serious enough. Of course it is. But we understand it's a small number, and it's limited to traumatic brain injuries. Obviously, we're going to do what we have to do to protect them. I mean, these attacks have to stop, and we've made that very clear. We're going to continue to take the kinds of actions we need to better defend ourselves. I would note that one reason why there weren't more injuries or more extensive damage was because we have taken necessary force protection precautions in the region to try to prepare for these kinds of attacks.
So let's go across the region there, because it appears the situation is escalating. President Biden seemed to acknowledge recently that U.S. strikes are not stopping the Houthis, for example, in Yemen. Yeah. So are these deterrence operations actually working?
Well, the efforts that we're going after with respect to the Houthis, there's really two arms here. One is self-defense. Obviously, you want to be able to protect shipping at sea, so being able to knock things out of the sky as they're fired at our ships or merchant ships. Number two, and you've seen us do this now in just recent days, is take action ashore in Yemen. In other words, preemptive strikes. And it's all really designed to degrade and to disrupt the Houthis' ability to conduct these attacks. We're trying to make it harder for them to have any offensive capability available to them. Now, obviously, they still do, but they have a choice to make. These attacks need to stop as well, and we'll continue to do what we have to do to further degrade their military capability if needed.
I want to turn now to Israel and the war with Hamas. President Biden has been pushing for a two-state solution, as you know, for Israel and the Palestinians. Prime Minister Netanyahu, again, publicly ruling that out. Does the administration still consider Netanyahu to be a trusted partner in working towards that two-state solution?
We are working closely with Netanyahu's government to make sure they can defend themselves against a still viable Hamas threat. And look, these are two leaders that have known each other a long, long time. They have a long relationship. They don't agree on everything politically. They don't agree on everything with respect to the future here of Gaza post-conflict. But we are still working closely with our Israeli partners to make sure, again, they can defend themselves. And the president is still committed, as he made clear in a discussion with Prime Minister Netanyahu just a couple of days ago, that to stay towards the promise of a viable two-state solution. He still believes that that's in the best interest not only of the people of Gaza, but the Palestinian people, but the Israeli people as well.
But even after that discussion, the two seem to be very far apart on this.
Again, we don't agree on everything. That is clear. We don't agree on every approach here to what post-conflict Gaza needs to look like. But we are in active conversations not only with our Israeli partners, but with partners across the region about what that needs to look like. And our position is it's got to be meeting the aspirations of the Palestinian people. They have to have a voice. They have to have a vote. A revitalized Palestinian Authority is the best option for governance in Gaza. We don't want to see it reoccupied by the Israeli military, and we don't want to see any of the territory of Gaza shrink. So we've made these positions clear. We're going to continue to do that with our Israeli partners.
Coming back here to the U.S. and Capitol Hill, negotiators are still working towards an aid package for Israel and Ukraine tied to border security here in the U.S. Is the White House confident we'll see a deal soon, perhaps even this week?
Well, we're making progress on the Senate side. As you know, that's where the negotiations are right now. We're doing it in a bipartisan way, and we're doing it in good faith. And we believe that those discussions have made progress. I don't want to negotiate here in public, but it's moving forward, and the president's optimistic that we'll get there.
John Kirby, thank you for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.